Kia ora and welcome to Tarmac, or should I say Guten Tag. Ich bin Dave.
And ich bin Matthew, and this behind us is the all-familiar face that is the Mercedes E-Class, but this is the new one.
That's right, it's the next chapter in the Mercedes business sedans, and it's just outstanding. Come, let's take a look at this. Now, the heritage of the E-Class can date back to the turn of the century with Mercedes premium vehicles, but it was the post-war 170V that started out on their sort of E-Class sort of sedan look, and then also in 1993 they actually gave it the E-Class name. So it's got quite a lot of history behind it, but it's always been about business, business sedan, and also the fact that of it being full of innovation. And now we've launched this new model. Now they've launched this new model, and it has everything in there, completely business orientated, and also tons and tons of technology. So it is a monster. Looking around the front here, some of the newer models have got this panel grille across the front. We still have this three-starred grille that's been seen in the C-Class and things like that, so it's still still hanging on to that stuff. And also a lot of the technical gubbins behind here, and also up in the windscreen, so lots going on the front here. There's also LED headlights, and again, some of the LED headlights have got 1.1 million pixels. Well, I should be going like that, 1.1 million pixels, and really does pick out everything at night. So it's a very chic and, I don't know, German looking front. Now underneath it all, the wheelbase has now been extended to, well, about almost an inch. So there's actually more room on the in the inside, so you'll see that once Matthew gets in there. But it does give it more of a firmer footprint. And while we're talking about the footprints, the wheels themselves are 20 inches in this model, this E300, and they are AMG model wheels, but they're also, to me, they look like the EQ, so they're very sort of sleek and aerodynamic. In terms of actual size, it's just under 5 meters long, and actually about 1.56, almost 1.6 meters tall. So it is a classic sedan shape. So what you've got is a very short overhang there. You've got a cab actually, and a very long overhang at the back here. So plenty going on. Also, when it comes to aerodynamics, thanks to these flush door handles, you've got a CD of around about 0.23, and also the doors themselves are soft close, so very gives you that upmarket business feel. There's plenty of privacy glass because you don't want to know, well, people don't know which businessman is inside it, but there you go. And also the rear lights here, LED, but look, they're all three-pointed star style shaped, so it's very cool, very modern, very Mercedes-Benz. You've got the E300 badging, making sure you know what model you have, and also these are where the exhaust pipe should be, but they're not there because it's hidden under the bottom here. The tailgate opens up to 540 litres of boot space, so well, there's a monster. So it's probably 1, 2, 3 lots of golf bags or a very large child, so plenty of stuff to fit in there. Let's look under the bonnet. What we have here is a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Together it gives you 190 kilowatts of power and 400 newton meters of torque. However, it's also a 48-volt mild hybrid, so what that gives you under boost is an extra 17 kilowatts of power and an extra 205 newton meters of torque, so ample for this size machine. 0 to 100 is around about 6.2 seconds, and in terms of efficiency it's around about 7.2 litres per 100 kilometres, and also out of the exhaust pipes, if you could find them, around about 163 grams of CO2. So it is more advanced, more powerful, and also more efficient, so pretty good all round. Anyway, speaking of pretty good all round, Matthew's inside and he'll show you what's going on in there.
So as Dave has just shown you, with the outside of this new E-Class, there have been so many changes in terms of the dynamics, the technology, the fit and finish, all of that stuff. And the story is much the same on the inside here, where Mercedes have done a complete sort of transformation of the various aspects of this interior. I'll start off firstly with the material choices. Now, the E-Class has always been a nice place to be, whether front seats or back seats, preferentially the back seats, obviously. But in this new car, well, let me start off with the materials, as I said. Leather on these seats is just beautiful. This cream sort of white color looks a complete standout on this press car we have today. The bolsters are nice and supportive. You have massage seats, you have heated seats, ventilated seats. It's just a business in the front, and as well as Harry will show you in the back too. You've got this sort of wooden panel across the middle. The materials, fit and finish, is generally all soft. They have just done a really good job with this E-Class, and that is reinforced by the fact that when you shut the door, that thunk that it has almost reminds you of the more old school E-Classes and the what Mercedes used to give in terms of that feedback. Not to mention they are soft close as well. To go to the next part of this, well, what Mercedes have done is a big step up in the acoustics on the inside here. So not only is it a lot quieter with the integration of acoustic glass, additional insulation, but it also has Burmester's 4D audio system, which gives you 17 speakers in this cabin, including sort of a pulsing bass speaker in the seats. And when you're turning up and jamming out to these old rock songs, you can really, it makes you feel like you're in concert with them. It's a sensation to be experienced, I'll tell you that for sure. Our car in particular also has the 3 screens, a Mercedes Hyper screen. So in terms of that technology front, it's taken a big jump there. But further than that, I think the leap in safety that this new E-Class has taken on is amazing with its stop go, its junction function, which sounds like, you know, an 80s new wave band. And then of course there is pre-safe. So when the car picks up that you're going to have a side impact crash, that it's inevitable, what it will do is actually shift based on the side that the crash is going to happen. It'll shift the seat a bit closer to the middle of the car, basically increasing that distance for you from the door and from the epicenter of the crash. And just that small separation does so much in terms of reducing the after impacts of the crash. It's just incredible technology. Not to mention the fact that if the car knows you're going to have a crash, it will, at the moment of the crash, play a tone that essentially separates your eardrum from the canal or something like that. And what that does is prevents you from getting tinnitus and long-term deafness and all of that from the crash. So it's just the technology that Mercedes have gone through here is just, I don't know what to say, honestly. Our particular review model here, this E300, comes with that 3-screen, or rather the hyper screen option. But really where I want you to focus on with this bit is on that central screen, because that's really where all of the magic happens in this interior technology experience. So comes with the latest generation of MBUX, as you can see there. Really handy in terms of telling you the petrol stations. There is also, as you can see, the little elephant icon there. Now that's not a nod to a different car brand, but more so the fact that that's where the zoo is. The other thing is, just look at the definition in this screen and all the characters and stuff like that. It is very sharp, very crisp. Uh, but at the same time, you still have that integration of this panel down here with all of your key functions. So your vehicle dynamic settings, your cameras, your on off for the audio, and then your volume as well. So they have done a good integration of the 2 bits of technology there. Diving into the screen now, I want to point out when you go into home, firstly, it brings up a much more simplified app drawer, if you like, and everything is sort of put into categories now. So, well, information that there shows you various degrees of outputs in terms of, here you got your suspension travel, you got your articulation, stuff like that, and then the engine, obviously the power, the torque, boost pressure, temperature, all. Now heading back into the screen here, you've also got media, which gives you access to that amazing Burmester 4D sound system, and then you've got apps there. It's got me, as you can see there, which is on the online functionality essentially, and depending on your geographical region, and the other options selected, you'll have different configurations available for those settings. It also comes with the digital key, so that means you can use your phone to unlock the car and sort of pre-program various settings rather than actually using and carrying around a physical key. Close that. Now, comfort, this is really, I mean, they've upgraded this so much. You've got so many different types of massage seat options in the front here. The seat as well, seat kinetics, it's got that. The side bolsterings is electronically adjustable as well. Heating settings, stuff like that. The ambient lighting, you've got a myriad of combinations there. And of course, the energizing comfort menu, which then uses a mix of the sort of sound, smell, all of those things to really give you a particular emotion, as you can select from the options over here, including the one that helps prevent motion sickness. The other cool thing with this screen is the fact that you can actually set essentially a routine. So, for example, your drive to work and your drive back from work, you might use different temperature settings, different audio inputs, different seat settings, all of that stuff. Particularly the weather we're having right now, where you might use your seat heaters in the morning, but not on your drive back home from work. And so you can actually set those routines, and the car will know that and apply that as well to your everyday driving experience. So quite cool technology from that sense to make it a really sort of unique experience for each person driving the vehicle. Not to mention that it also has facial recognition, so it can apply those settings to your face, just so you don't need to actually say I'm driver one or whatever. Really intelligent technology there. Now, the experience for the driver here is a really good one, and note that the E-Class is one of those vehicles where there is definitely many markets where a driver will be interacting with this car a lot, while the owner may be in the back seat, for example. Um, Firstly, the interaction with the steering wheel, it's a really nice unit to hold. It's got that sort of split approach to it. You've got your audio controls on the left, and on the right, your adaptive cruise controls and other settings to control the screen in front of you. Couple of paddle shifts there, and of course the usual Mercedes transmission stock up here. Now, in front of the driver, that screen in front is just infinitely customizable, if I can say so. So obviously you can change what you have in the middle. Note also the 3D sort of look to that map now. You've got obviously trip information, eco display, that rolling ball famously is there. You've got your consumption figures, your attention assist. Remember that this now has a facial recognition system where it'll keep an eye on the driver and keep an eye on your essentially attention and intervene, let's say, when needed. The other thing is the head-up display now is really sort of taken a step up. So not just you can see the speed, but it'll really sort of make a real life application for things like the map and the directions and all of that. So there is a lot of change in the way you interact with the car and how you look out of the windscreen at the world around you. As I said before, you can change the dials, you can change, the information to an extent of what you see in front of you, and obviously with each sort of mode as well, it tends to change different colors and things according to um, what you set the car to be. So if I flick it into dynamic mode, you can have a bit more redness and stuff like that, and you can certainly see the sport thing has now lit up. But I think that's enough from me over the front, because has been so much to cover here. But I think really where the E-Class has been a winner is in that backseat experience. So let's move over to Harry, who's in the back.
And at the back of the E-Class, the same luxury experience continues. Pretty much every single surface that you can interact with is soft touch, including the amazing texture that you get on the leather seats. And pretty much the space that you get is the same thing as in the front as well. There is probably some 20 centimeters of knee room for me here, even though Matt was sitting in front of me, and a significant amount of headroom. It is very easy to get in and out, and then once you are inside, it is a isolation chamber, and I'm so glad that I got to ride on the back seat with them today. In terms of convenience, you get 4 zones of climate control with individual settings for you to set your ventilation, your temperature, and also heated seats for all 4 passengers. You also benefit from the great dual panoramic sunroof that you get here, and also the amazing sound system. And comfort is really, really good. I couldn't think of a better luxury sedan to be driven around today. So I think that I'll just keep sitting here on the back seat as the 2 of them go for a drive.
So this may be an executive form of transport and an intelligent form of transport, and lots going on as far as that goes, and it may have quite a big sedan size with only a 2-litre in it, but it's still bloody quick. Oh, and slips and skids. It's just so much fun. There's a lot going on, but it also feels so under control. So you've got a dump of 600 Newton meters of torque, which is just phenomenal under a boost situation, and it still feels so lively yet so, I don't know, executive like. So I don't know, maybe it's the rowdy exec in me that likes to do that.
It is very much, and the advertising sort of media says it so, the business experience, and it is very much so. Although Harry and I have actually had the chance to take this thing around one of our local racetracks here in New Zealand, and well, I've got to say it did perform pretty damn good when sort of you're not using it for business purposes, let's say.
Actually, it's funny having Harry on the back there, because he's gonna remain relatively quiet, but which is for those that regularly watch us, he usually forgets to pick up the mic and do stuff anyway. But he should be right back there reading a newspaper and being the exec that he is. But as he showed you earlier, there's so much room back there for executives to be executive like and just enjoy the ride. And it's it's not S-Class, but it's a bloody good E-Class, that's for sure.
I think front and back, the space-wise, certainly I think everybody gets a good amount of space to stretch their legs. The experience, the quality, the luxury in here, they've done really well all around with this E-Class. And I think historically the E-Class has been a really all-around a good sedan. I think this generation follows exactly that lineage down to a T by improving everything at the same time.
Yeah, the ride itself is quite firm, and I don't know whether that's down to the rubber on it, but it is quite like I said, a firm ride. Not uncomfortable, really not uncomfortable, but probably erring towards the firmer side of things. I think if you went for the full air suspension situation, you will probably have a lot more comfort and things like that, but maybe they're saving that for the AMG model as such.
That's true, and our particular review car does come with 20-inch wheels and relatively low profile tires, so that probably has something to do with the ride. But in saying that, we've driven over sort of cobbly roads and a little bit of rough stuff, and you really get a feel for how good the damping is inside here. The acoustic glass, that additional insulation, all of that makes a real difference to the fact that it is just sort of a pin drop silent almost in here.
Yeah, it is very quiet in here. The steering is very light too, very, very power assisted, but still very positive. And also this one doesn't come with the rear wheel steer, which would just then make it even more maneuverable in all situations, both in cornering and also around the local town here, like we're doing right now.
I think all that being said, the real big talking point of this car firstly is in upgrading the safety technology, and then also your general audio technology as well. So as I mentioned before, this has Mercedes' pre-safe system, which moves the driver and passenger into the middle of the car if there's going to be a side impact. And it even says so on the seatbelt buckles as well, just to reinforce the fact that this does have that technology. But when you're not, well, what it does is allow you to be have complete peace of mind, knowing that this Merc is taking very good care of you. And that means basically you can turn up the volume on that Burmester 4D system and just enjoy that pulsating sound that comes through.
Yeah, actually, I don't know how much it's going to protect your ears, so it's probably going to blow them out, actually. But there is an abundance of tech in here, which is an E-Class trait, and it could actually be overwhelming to many. But in true Mercedes sort of format, you can sample it. You can do as little or as much as you want to take on board. So you can really just start on nice simple stuff and have your stereo and stuff like that, or you can go to your 3D stereo or 4D stereo. You've got the screen over there for the passenger to get involved and change the radio station. I think there's an argument waiting to happen. Leave my radio station alone. But also they can watch, I mean, you can park up and watch YouTube, so you can watch Tarmac live on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, by the way. And just enjoy the entertainment and infotainment that's thrown at you all the way around.
Absolutely. And I think that latest generation MBUX system just adds to so much more of the experience that you have with the car and the car's technology more so. And it's a good thing because there is so much of it now with this new model. So it's extremely easy to customize and to set up, and obviously set your routines as well to really make the car your own.
But the big question is, how's the room in the back? Do we get a thumbs up from you, Harry?
An absolute thumbs up. It is so relaxing in here. Pretty much all the work that Mercedes has put towards making this an isolation chamber really does work. I just wanted to be on my phone and check how my real estate portfolio is performing. It is amazing.
Buy shares, sell them, do whatever you do.
Yeah. Harry likes to follow a buy high, sell low sort of policy with his...
So there you have it, the new Mercedes-Benz E-Class E300. It is just taking executive driving to the next level. Actually, even executive in the back level to the next level. It is full of technology. So things that I didn't mention on the drive, if you look at the wing mirrors, or the door mirrors, you can just have to look at it. It knows that you're looking over there. You can adjust it. You don't have to click things over. The temperature vents or the vents or air vents, you can adjust them automatically. They point at you. You don't have to use your hands. It's just technology going crazy. And yet, like I say, it feels very simple and intuitive. You don't have to get fully involved in it. It just seems all very natural. It's just quite a statement for the executive or businessman alike.
I think this new generation E-Class has taken a big leap forward in terms of the safety technology, the luxury technology, and just everything else. The comfort factor, the audio experience. It is a really well-rounded car in all aspects of the luxury business experience.
There you go. A thumbs up from all three of us, actually. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.